It's your boy Carcino, and this is the best movies of 2012. Now, before I get started, I have to say this to the public who watch my movie reviews and watch other people's movie reviews. Now, might have seen, they all start their reviews and they might say, "This is my opinion, and these are who I think that I did, and no one should have any say about the list." And that's just a cop-out disclaimer. You have an obligation to your fans who have watched your reviews and trusted your reviews. Most people decided if they were going to see a movie or not based on your reviews. You have an obligation to give them the best movies of 2012. Not the ones you've had fun. We've all had fun at the Avenger movies. Who didn't go to see Avengers and have fun seeing everybody dressed up? But to say Avengers is the best movie of 2012, that's just a negligence to the public. To say that when you know that people pay you. They pay you to give these movie reviews. They pay you. And you mislead them like that? You have a better obligation to the public. You owe them much more than what you did. And the rest of the guys who did these type of reviews, they know exactly who I'm talking about. I love their work, but that was negligent. Now, number 10 on my list is Flight with Denzel Washington. And man, at one point I felt that this movie was the best movie of the year, and all these movies this year are really close. I mean, I could see them numbers switching around, but I would give Flight number 10. And Flight is the story of a man, Denzel Washington, who's been living the life of a pilot for many years, and just like anybody who's been at a job for a long period of time, you start to slip up and get comfortable and do things that you know you're not supposed to do, but you do it anyway because you feel comfortable on the job, and then something goes wrong, and now those things that you've done for all those years are coming up to haunt you, and then they're coming full circle. Then you're going to have to go cold turkey or try to make changes to your life personally that affecting others that you choose to ignore. And it comes full circle, and it's a great movie, great, well acted. Don Cheadle played a great role in it, and I had an enormously great time watching it. And another one at number 9, I have Rust and Bone. Rust and Bone is a story of a man who's a single father. He's taking care of this lady who takes care of whales, and she had an accident that confined her to a wheelchair. Then he ended up helping her find the will to live again. It's a great love story. It's a beautiful story, and it's well deserving of number 9. Now, I'm not going to say these are my opinions. These are the best movies of 2012. Now, number 8 is Looper. Now, Looper was a movie I never even imagined to make my list at all. See, what Looper is a movie that basically came out of nowhere. Looper with not Denzel Washington, Bruce Willis, and Joseph Levitt. And what happens is this guy, you know him from Dark Knight Rises. He was in like 3 movies back to back to back. You've seen him in 3 different movies, but Looper was by far one of his best performances. You think you know the story of Bruce Willis goes back into time, and he meets his younger self, and then his younger self is supposed to kill him. So when he reaches a certain age or whatever, he's reached this loop. It's a lot of angles in it, but please go see this movie if you didn't, because it is definitely worth it, and it's not exactly what the trailer has shown you. It's much more to the movie than what you've just been seeing. And number 7, we have a movie called Arbitrage. Now, Here's the thing with this movie. This movie is with Richard Gere, Susan Sarandon, and Albatross is it's about a guy who's a billionaire. He's trying to do a merger with his company with another company, and during this process, he's also has his other activities on the side with mistresses and wives. And what happens is his mistress dies in a car accident, and he falls asleep at the wheel. The car crashes. He gets himself out of the car. She blows up. He gets someone to get him out of it, and now he's in the middle of this merger. He's got to try to cover up him being with this mistress at the same time. And you see how the inner dealings of people with money and power goes in there, and Tim Roth plays a great job as a detective who's just sick of rich people getting away with everything. And I had that movie come in at number 7. Number 6 is Skyfall, the latest installment of James Bond. I believe they're on 20 something. I've lost count. And this is one of the best James Bond I've seen in a long time, because James Bond was able to show his vulnerability. He wasn't Mr. Perfect. He was actually old. You know, he's been out of the game for a while. He was injured, and his shooting is off, and you know, his reflexes are a little differently now. He's coming of age, and it's almost time. He's debating on, like, is it for him? What is next? Do he have anything left? He doesn't know what he's going to do after the fact. But it's a very well shot movie. It's kept gritty and then stayed true to the Bond franchise and the nature of it. Okay, number 5 is The Master. Easily could have been number 1. And Joaquin Phoenix, who should be nominated for Best Actor in this role. I mean, this is a guy who's a World War II veteran who's trying to adjust to this life of this cult, where this C. Thomas Howell, I think that's his name, is C. Thomas Howell, and he's running this cult of where he's curing people of like anger issues, and he's using these methods of science to do it, and he's definitely wants to help Joaquin Phoenix, who's just addicted to alcohol, making his own alcohol, and he has outbursts and anger issues from war and just a mess. And he wants to get help from this guy that they call The Master. And it is an unbelievable film. Everybody just acting is way off the chart on this one. And I think if Phoenix wins Best Actor, I could see how he could get it. Number 4 is The Dark Knight Rises. And this is a toss-up for me because I don't really do superhero movies in here, but it's the grittiness and the realization of this movie that they make it as real as possible that this could actually happen. Batman's a human. Bane is human. You know, all the characters in here are human. They might look like they're doing feats that only a superhero could do, but they're human beings pulling these things off, and they make it plausible for it to be realistic. As far as this guy's taking over the town, the way he used it, he had to get subcontractors, he had to get another guy for that, a billionaire. They took every detail to letter, and you felt the pain through the entire movie of the people suffering, how they gave them hope and then they snatched it all away from them, and how the poor was able to overthrow the rich. I felt that was a very key element, how all the people in Gotham who were rich, the bridge and tunnel crowd, they all had this money and just walked by the poor every day. And it kind of like hit on the recession that the country's in now, and it's like someone saying we're going to reverse everything that just happened with the recession, and we're going to turn it around to where the rich are going to be poor, and they're going to be tried for their crimes of stealing money from the poor, not giving anything back, and just taking from the city. So it was very powerful, deep political angles, people trying to absorb people's companies. It's pretty much what goes on in an everyday walk of life. And just the fact that it happened to be a Batman movie and it was done very smartly is that I enjoyed it probably 10 times fold. Every character had meaning in the movie. They were important. And that's what I liked about it. They just weren't a character that just came and left and then there was nothing there. They actually had relevancy to the characters, that you actually cared and gave a damn about them. And number 3 is the movie Argo. Argo, with Ben Affleck acting and directing this movie, and what it is the true story of what was going on in, I believe, in the 80s when there was kidnapped all these Americans and they held them hostage, and we had to get them out of there and try to get them out through Canada, and they were trying to think of a way to extract them without being caught, because 6 of them had gotten away, and while the terrorist raid took place, 6 of them escaped, and before they get figured out that 6 people were missing in their country, they wanted to get them out of there before they discovered this. So they come up with this phony movie scheme, so they have to fake everything to the letter to pretend to be a movie crew to come in and get with the rest of their aides, who were all supposed to be Canadian, and then they were all supposed to leave as movie directors, as people filming on location. So they had to hire a director, everything from scratch. It was pretty amazing how they went through the preparation of, like, we're gonna make a movie. You know, they really went to the limit to make this all look real. Number 2, The Silver Lining Playbook. The Silver Lining Playbook is number 2 on my list because I fought with this, number 1 and number 2, for about a week. But come on, my goodness, this is an amazing movie. It's very different. Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence played one of the greatest 2 roles I've seen in film, especially from Bradley Cooper, who's playing a guy who's pretty much suffering from outbursts. What they call that? He's bipolar. That's it. He's got a bipolar disorder. He came home, saw his wife cheating on him with a co-worker, and he snapped and beat the crap out of the co-worker. Then he got arrested, and he was thrown into a mental institution so he can get some help. Now, how many people would react if they come in their own home and see that way? But because of it, he wasn't able to function because he couldn't get it out of his mind that his wife was not his wife anymore. He comes out, she's got a restraining order against him, and his dad, who's a diehard Eagles fan. I mean, the whole family's diehard Eagles. He's happy to have his son home because it brings good luck to his Eagles. And Robert De Niro is one of my favorite roles I've seen him play ever. He's an addicted gambler, and all he bets on is those Eagles. And he's gambling with his buddy friend who's a Cowboy fan, and they just going back and forth gambling and placing bets, and he lost his job, so this is all he's got. And Jennifer Lawrence, she's going through pain because her husband just died, and they meet each other, and they're so odd that they annoy each other, but they keep seeing each other. It's just the weirdest thing ever, and they both like, why don't you follow me? Why don't you get away from me? I hate you. But they keep meeting each other because they really are helping each other as they stand together get through their situations of them being so screwed up. And number 1 is Django Unchained. Now, a lot of people are going to say, oh yeah, Django Unchained, this movie with the slave movie, how could that be the best movie? It is the best movie of 2012 that I've seen. It had everything I went in there. It had funny dialogue, it had wittiness, it had the heart of the movie. People, I don't go in a movie and say, okay, well, he said N-word this time, he said N-word that time. It is a movie in slavery, okay? In the slavery period, I guarantee you they said the N-word more times than this movie did. Okay, and this Django thing would not have happened back in that time. So all this is a story about a man trying to reunite with his wife, who they were separated at camp. And by the fortunes of fate, he got unchained and freed and partnered with a guy who said, hey, let's split this 50-50. You be my partner, you show me where these guys are, and we collect bounties on them. And he was all for that. And as a part of the reward, the guy said, I will help you recover your wife. And that's why Django's even in this mission at all. He's not in it just for the bounties, just to do this for the money. He's in it because he wants to recover his wife. That is his main goal, is to get his wife, not to kill all white people. He's there to get his wife and go. Now, if white people get in his way of him getting his wife, you know what's going to happen. It was a lot of blood and stuff flying everywhere, you know, and shooting started happening because this Quentin Tarantino's movie. So you should have expected that. But it's a great time. It's like a hero movie. I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, I thought it had a lot of touching heart and action, and it had everything. Comedy. I mean, I love the scene with Jonah Hill and all of them. They all got these masks on. They were like, yeah, we finna go ride. Like the Ku Klux Klan, they all got the mask, and can't nobody see. Dude, everybody's complaining about the mask, and one guy's like, hey, my wife made that mask. She's wasted all this time making all the masks, and now we gonna do a raid without the mask. It's like, yeah, we gotta make new masks. I can't see nothing. I can only see out of one eye. So it was a big argument going on. It was funny, and they was having a big meeting. That dialogue was totally hilarious. Guys, alright, this time we gonna go do the raid without the masks. And Jonah Hill was in this whole scene just for this one scene when they had that meeting, just for the comedy that he brought to the table. And I want to give some honorable mentions too. To End of Watch could have definitely made this list. The movie Lincoln. The reason why a lot of people are gonna say, well, Lincoln should have been in there. What about Lincoln? Lincoln is a great movie. I think it was great individual acting, with the plot not being as great as it should have been. Great individual acting, great lines, great one scene moments. Tommy Lee Jones stole the movie. But the reason why it is not in there, because I think I've learned more about Lincoln from the vampire movie than I did in this movie. And that shouldn't happen. That should not happen. They really focus on Gettysburg, which really was what founded Lincoln. This is what he's astounded for. All it did was focus really on the moving and dealings of how he had to take care of people to let the slavery, the freeing of the slaves thing go free. And then we found out that was interesting, but for 3 hours, I mean, it's good for a section of a movie, but not for an entire movie. But that's just me. It's a movie called Amour. That's another great movie. It's another indie movie. I had to read that one in subtitle, and it seems pretty good all the way through. I mean, I would put it on the list of 9 and 10. I don't want to tell the plot because there's so many layers in it. I mean, there's twists happening every 10 seconds. That's why I didn't put it in the top 10. It's a great movie that I couldn't put in the top 10 because there's just so many layers and so many twists. They're not even explained. You're like, huh? But Amour is a great movie too. It's just got a lot of twists that I know they probably wish, like, yeah, we could have took this out. If they had a great, I think the director just didn't know what to cut and what not. Whoever is the editor probably want to take that one back. But this is the best list of 2012. There are probably a lot of other movies that I was going to put on there. I mean, Wreck-It Ralph could definitely be mentioned to be one of the movies that was one of the best. Prometheus is up there as a movie as I would have. because that's a movie you can either love or hate, but for creative reasons, I believe it's one of the most creative movies of 2012. And I might do a creative movie of 2012, because I think that a lot of those movies didn't get a lot of shine, that they were really good, that they overachieved. And I'm out. Peace, 2012.